Hi everybody, just wanted to check in and see how you guys are doing and give you an update on how I'm doing because things escalated really quickly and got kind of crazy. So here we are. First, I'm broadcasting from my new setup in the castle. I mentioned when I gave the castle tour that my mom worked on the Wi-Fi. She works in IT, so she knows how to do that sort of thing. And moved it to the other side of the house, so now it broadcasts strongly enough that I can be here in the castle, so super excited about that because it means I don't have to clean my room every time I want to do a live, although to be really honest, right now my room is quite clean because I haven't had anything else to do and I've been stuck here. So things have been generally crazy. I'm kind of settling in. Hi Carolyn! Thanks for tuning in, good to have you. I'm generally settling into a routine, trying to figure things out, as I think everyone has been. I've been online a lot more, kind of talking to everyone. If you guys have done anything fun, hey Coralie! If you guys have been doing anything fun while you've been kind of cooped up, let me know. I know Coralie I saw earlier, and I commented, it's like, you don't want to, I'm not happy about it. I'm definitely not happy about what's going on, but in some ways, this is also kind of my best life because I am introverted. I do now suddenly have a lot of time to read, to catch up on these projects. So that has not been the worst thing in the world, although I did have a lot of travel planned, so I was sad to cancel that. So I have been doing a lot of writing, which I will talk about in a minute, but I've also been doing a lot of reading. Which is fun. And for those of you in the US, if you've not tried Kindle Unlimited, Amazon has a deal right now. It is free. For 2 months, you can read as much as you want in there. So I'm just kind of trying to spread the word about that because that is a fantastic deal. So books that I've been reading, and if you guys want to comment with books that you've been reading, do let me know because I could use some recommendations at this point. So first of all, some nonfiction. I've been reading The Compound Effect, which is about productivity and habits. Coralie's exactly right. She says, finding the silver lining. I decided kind of after day 2 that either I could embrace this. Hi Robin, good to see you. Either you can embrace the situation and just find something positive, something to salvage here, or knowing myself, I'm I'm gonna just stress eat and be miserable. And so I'm avoiding that. Let's see, I've also been reading Anatomy of Story by John Truby. This is a craft storytelling book. It is pretty complex, pretty involved, and also is more designed for screenwriting than novel writing, which is a different story form, but I have gotten some good ideas out of that, especially on how to build conflict in a novel. Sometimes when I'm writing, my villains are not strong enough or active enough. I have a hard time relating to being a villain, I guess. So I'm gosh, why would you want to make someone's life miserable? But that's important to story. So trying to strengthen my villains. Hi Jaspa, good to see you. Yeah, Coralie, I've been meaning to type this, but I'll say it in person too. Thank you so much for your reviews on my books. I really, really, really have loved those. Lucy's books are good. I'm reading some of those right now. Boundaries, has been on my list. Let me know how it is. Because I haven't gotten around to it yet, but I've heard from several friends that it's super good. Let's see, on the fiction side of things, I've been kind of checking out some audiobook narrators because I'm getting ready to do an audiobook. So I've been listening to Pathways by Camille Peters, both because I've been wanting to read that for a while and because I wanted to check out her narrator, who is quite good. So I've been doing that. I just finished Coronation Ball by Melanie Sellier, which is a really, really good retelling of Cinderella. Erica Everest had been recommending that one a lot, and now I see why. And then, let's see, so I had read, so Coralie, I know you're working on, are you talking about we've talked about so many things. I'm not sure which one you're talking about now. Is it Boundaries that has the workbook? Anyhow, awesome. Yeah, so another thing I'm doing is I'm catching up on Lucy Tempest's Beauty and the Beast duology. I'd read her Aladdin trilogy, but not the Beauty and the Beast, so I'm working through that. Just read Green-Eyed Prince by Brittany Fichter. Yeah, I haven't, this may have actually been the first of Melanie's that I've read. They've been on my list forever. I have a bunch of them on my Kindle, but you know, you get busy. And so, yeah, I need to catch up on all her series because I really, really enjoyed that one. It was really, really good. Let's see, I've also, so outside of fairy tales, I've been reading some Sophie Kinsella, and these were all rereads for me. So her Shopaholic series, and then 20s Girl, which is it's like a rom-com, but then also like a ghost story and a mystery. That one's really fun. I like that. So yeah, so Boundaries is the one with the workbook. Okay, cool. Yeah, I really need to check that out. I have problems with Boundaries sometimes. So that is fair. Also, I don't know if you guys have checked this one out yet, but K.M. Shea's latest urban fantasy, which is a trilogy and the first 2 books are out. That one has been super good. Really enjoyed that. Yeah, I've read several of Brittany Fichter's, and not all of them though. Still working through. I tend to be really behind, like way more behind than I should be on catching up with reading everyone. But yeah, super good retellings. I need to check out, I don't know if you guys have read her like contemporary romances she just released, where it's like the Air Force. Those are on my list. I have those as well. And I've been looking to read those. I've also been I have been watching some TV because sometimes it's hard to focus on the reading. So I've been catching up on the Marvel movies. I watched Black Panther finally, which again had been on my list forever and ever and ever, because people kept saying, yeah, it's really good. And yeah, it was really good, guys, like way better than I expected it to be. So that was cool. Also, The Curse of Oak Island is something that my whole family is into. Ooh, Coralie, are you talking about the contemporary romances? Just that I need to check those out. But yeah, so The Curse of Oak Island, which is, if you haven't seen that, it's like, there's this island in Nova Scotia where people have been searching for a treasure for 200 years, and there's all these weird clues they keep finding. So my whole family's into that. Every Tuesday it's like Oak Island night, and we watch it. Oh, Robin, are you really near Oak Island? That is super cool. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna tell everyone that I know someone who's been to Oak Island, and they're gonna be super jealous. Really, my whole family is into it. That is so cool. Tell me what you did on Oak Island in the comments. I really want to hear about this. This is epic. Oh my gosh. I'm super excited now. That's so cool. Yeah, and I have family in Canada, but in Ontario, and then some of them used to live in British Columbia, so I've been to Canada several times, but not that part of it. That is awesome. Let's see. So another thing I've been doing, which is kind of a funny thing to admit, is I've been rereading Princess of Shadows, because I'm working on book 4 and I need to keep it consistent, and I tend to forget details. Awesome, Coralie. This sounds super good. There's a resort on Oak Island, Robin. That's or near it. That's so epic. So Coralie, Oak Island is it's this island that, okay, so my mom started watching this show first, and so she's the one who got me into it. And when she first told me about it, I was like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And then I started reading about it and getting into it, and then I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever heard. So yeah, it's this island off the coast of Nova Scotia, if I'm remembering correctly. And for 200 years, people have been searching for treasure and finding really things that kind of shouldn't be there, artifacts. And they found this tunnel system, and then the tunnel flooded from a booby trap. and it's just like all very mysterious, and historically, like, really no one should have been there to build a tunnel and a booby trap. So there's this TV show where this team is trying to figure out what happened and trying to find the treasure. And it's just really fun to watch them, like, dig for treasure, basically, with, you know, no idea. So some people theorize, like, it's the Knights Templar. Some people think it was, like, Spanish pirates who buried treasure there. No one really knows. So yeah, it's really good times. All right, so other ways I've been passing the time. As I mentioned at the very top of the video, I have been cleaning my room. Okay, half-hour drive, Robin says. So there's, like, trails through the island. I know, like, a lot of the sites are protected, like... Yeah, Coralie, it's so cool. Like, really, it's just crazy cool. And so in the last episode, they, like... There's this one, like... place they found called the Money Pit, which someone dug up in, like, the 1700s, I think. And then it was, like, lost to history, and so they've been trying to find it, and they kind of, like, just found it. And so they've got this, like, giant drill that they're gonna drill down and try to find the treasure. So I'm, like, really pumped up for next week's episode, hoping they find the treasure. But yeah, that pit was the one that was, like, booby traps to flood, and so no one has been able to get in since. Let's see. What's your weather like, Robin? Because are you still, like, cold? That's another way I've been passing the time, is why I bring it up and why I feel bad for, like, anyone who is further north, because our weather has been really nice. So I've been, like, working in my yard. Yesterday I literally just, like, picked up sticks for firewood. I'm kind of, like, pretending. I do live kind of in the country, like, I have a little bit of land, but it's not really a farm, but I've been kind of pretending it's a farm. So I went out and, like, harvested pecans, because there were a few of those left on the ground, and have been, picking up sticks for firewood. Oh gosh, Robin says it's gonna snow again tomorrow. Yeah, we've got a heat wave coming. I think it's supposed to be in the 90s Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what that is in Celsius. But yeah, it's about to get really, really hot here. In fact, I've been running the heater all week, but I kind of today need to turn on the air conditioning. I only haven't because it's, like, the principle of the thing, and I really don't want to turn on the air. So, but yeah, I'm gonna have to at some point. It's getting that hot. And also really windy, and probably gonna storm pretty soon. Yeah, Coralie, I was thinking about writing outside today as well, but yeah, if it's cold, probably not. Maybe bundle up. Today it's, like, borderline too hot, and also a little windy, which is why my hair is, like, pulled back, because I was like, yeah, I'll fix my hair and go live, and then I went outside and it was like, and the hair was no good. So that's spring hair for you, though. All right, I know, let's see, both of you guys are writers who are leaving comments. So have you guys, been using time to write? I have been. I've actually gotten quite a bit done, which was why I originally decided to go live, was kind of to give a writing update. So I'm working on this mystery co-writing project, which I have kind of hinted at several times. I'm kind of waiting to reveal all the details until it's a little bit more done, because it is still kind of, like, taking shape. But it's going to be really interesting. It is a really quirky project, but I really love how it's turning out. I hope other people do too. But that's about 75% done. I've actually just sent a bunch more chapters over to my co-writer for comments to see what he thinks and get his feedback. So yeah, so that will be out hopefully in a few months. We're still waiting on the cover for that. Ooh, Carolyn says she's been trying to do writing sprints, but is caught doing admin duties in a writing group. Hi, Audrey. You just popped up as that you're watching. Yeah, it's, so it is tricky, because, like, right now, so I teach for my day job, and we're on school break right now, so literally I only am sitting at home and, like, technically could write all day, but it's still really hard to write that much. My brain just can't take it. So, but I have been doing some good writing, usually anywhere from like 2 to 4 hours a day of just like pure writing, and then just like online talking to people, or yeah, doing admin or business work, figuring out how I'm going to take my teaching online. Okay, so the co-writing project, yeah, poor Robin, I keep distracting her. Yeah, you guys are reaping the, we'll say, benefits of my procrastination, staying live with me and keeping me company. Because yeah, I'm just like, well, here we are. Yeah, so I do appreciate you guys. Like really having people to talk to online and friends with common interests has been so nice and really is keeping me sane right now. Okay, so the co-writing project is going, will be done soon-ish. I hope you guys like it, but I realize it's not going to be your typical genre, so we'll see. But yeah, it is quite fun, and I will, again, once we get more done, I will reveal more details, but since I'm working with a co-writer, we have to kind of coordinate our releases, so I have a tendency to kind of like blurt things out when I'm live, but I really am not going to say any more about it now. So the other thing I'm working on right now is book 4 in my fairy tale adventure series, which is going to be Beauty and the Beast. It does not have a title yet. It really needs a title. I am working on a title, but I can't decide on one. So the unnamed Beauty and the Beast project is in the works, and that's about 25% done. Like I really have done some good writing on that one. And what I really need to do now is go back and read through the previous 3 books and make sure I keep things consistent, because that gets harder and harder as I kind of weave these plots together to make sure, oh yeah, this person like really is here and really did that. Coralie, yeah, book 4. And also, Audrey, thank you for the comment. And yeah, Coralie, I hope your school gets things worked out. It's been a mess, but we'll make it happen. Determined to make it happen and stay positive. So yeah, book 4, it's about a quarter done. I really, really like it. It's so fun, these characters' dynamics. So we get, a lot of people have guessed this already, and I've confirmed it with a few people, so I feel fine saying this. But yeah, so it is Prince Darien, who is mentioned in book 3 as kind of, he was the crown prince and now he's not, and the circumstances are mysterious, so kind of savvy readers have probably figured out what those circumstances are. Spoiler, he's been turned into a beast. I don't think that's a major spoiler because you get that in chapter 1 of book 4. So yeah, so that's why he's not crown prince anymore. He's dealing with that. The female lead will be Dale the merchant's daughter. So he was also in book 3. He's the one who was kind of hanging around the castle. And they, Fiora and Gustav kind of helped him get back home. So he comes home to a kind of bizarre situation. So yeah, thank you, Coralie. It's, I always love stories that are really connected, so that tends to be how I write, but it does make the writing go a little bit slower because you have to put all these pieces together. And I'm really, I'm gearing up for some big reveals. There is a common thread through all of them, probably even a little bit more than is apparent with these first 3 books. There is like a main bad guy, and so we're gonna start to see that in play a little bit more. Super exciting. We are going to, in book 4, go back to the realm of shadows, which I set up in book 1, and then because the heroes in books 2 and 3 aren't shadow warriors, we didn't really get to see much more of that like parallel world. But we are coming back to that in book 4, and in subsequent books we're going to start to see a little bit more and more of that, and it will be more important. Another thing I'm super excited about, so Karina and Stefan they were in both books 1 and 2, and also kind of mentioned in book 3. They're gonna make a reappearance in book 4 and be causing some trouble, as they do, because they are now working as spies. So I'm super excited to return to writing about them. They're some of my favorites. I love their dynamic. I think they are, though writing them is always interesting because then I have to think of funny things to say. Ooh, yeah. Coralie offers a mild spoiler, but yeah, so Nog is working with everyone. All the bad guys are working together. And yay, I'm so glad that was a good reveal. Seriously, guys, I always I get so excited to hear about people's reactions to my books. Most of my training is in music, which is usually live performance. So I'm used to like this very like real-time feedback when I'm doing something. You know, you're playing piano on stage and you can like see and hear and feel the audience's reaction. So it is really, really unusual for me when I'm writing to just like kind of publish it and then there's nothing. So I really, really love feedback. Even if you find something negative, I like to hear about it because that makes me a stronger writer. And Carolyn, yeah, I hope you have time to check out the books and let me know what you think. Yeah, and Robin, thank you so much for joining us. I know that you have your own deadline you're trying to meet. So yeah, definitely go write. Go write, go write. Yeah, Carolyn says method acting with writing, and yeah, that kind of is the thing. It's so funny. I have one writer that I'll do like accountability with, and so he'll send me his writing playlist, which is like really upbeat and happy, and then mine tends to be like music that will make me cry because I like to feel the emotion of the scene. So yeah, I do try to be like really in that moment, and it's a strange balance to do this profession that's like very secluded and isolated, but also I really love people and I love performing. So yeah, so tell me in the comments, like, how are you guys' writing projects going? Because Coralie, I know you're working on your Cinderella right now, and then Carolyn, you mentioned the other day that you were working on something. So have you guys found like the extra time has been helpful? Or Carolyn, I don't know if you even have extra time actually. I know Coralie does because she's out of school right now. Okay, so while you're applying, I will tell you, I did go ahead. The release for book 4, I had originally planned on like October or November, because that tends to be my rhythm. That's just like when I get the book done. I write it over the summer while my teaching load is lighter, and then edit it, and then it's ready. But there's a lot of extra time happening right now. So I actually just today booked my cover designer for May, and that is not a guarantee because the book will be done in May. We will see. Fingers crossed that I can pull that off. But yeah, the cover designer is booked, which means I now have a deadline for figuring out the title. So by May, hopefully, title is ready. Cover is ready. I've already got like my Pinterest mood board done. I'm super excited. It's Beauty and the Beast, so we need like a girl running with a dramatic castle, right? Like that's gonna be a beautiful cover. I'm so excited to see what they do with it. So that's kind of become my new deadline for like having things pretty well in hand. I would be surprised if I finished it before summer though. My process tends to be kind of non-linear, so I never want to promise anything because I tend to like not meet deadlines with writing. Ooh, I'm gonna check in. So Carolyn says that she's working on, sorry, the comments keep getting buried here. Long forgotten fairy tales from around the world. That sounds super exciting. I love obscure fairy tales. Usually when I work them into my writing, they're so obscure no one recognizes them, so that can be a problem. She also says she's working on sci-fi and suspense, covers and branding. Awesome. And then Coralie's using extra time going forward. Family stuff to take care of, I do understand that for sure. Alternate opening. Yay! So yeah, you guys definitely keep me posted on like how that goes, because this is how like I thrive on accountability, right? I usually do my best work if I'm talking to people about it. So yeah, this is so much fun. Let's see, so I've got that. And then other things I've been doing. I'm still working, although that's kind of been on the back burner, on a theme song for the Fairy Tale Courtyard group, just as a fun thing Erica and I decided to put together. She's promised a dance routine, choreographed dance, once I finish this song. So I need to finish this song so we can all learn the dance routine just for fun. Carolyn, you have an RPG story? That, okay, I said I wasn't going to talk anymore about the co-writing, but it's kind of a gamelet thing, so that's super exciting. I really like that space. Yeah. Coralie, yeah, doesn't that sound fun, the dance routine? So, I gotta finish up this composition so that Erica can do our dance routine, so we can all, like, spend our time dancing, get some exercise, and all that stuff. It's gonna be so good. Alright, so that takes me to the end of, like, my little list that I had written out to make sure I didn't ramble too aimlessly. So anybody, do you have any other questions or comments or things you want to talk about before I log off? Because I do still need to get some writing done. But if you have more you want to talk about, I'm more than happy to procrastinate here. Carolyn, yeah, I'm excited for the dance routine. Erica has promised us, I'm putting like, well, I'm not really putting words in her mouth because she really did say this, a waltz that you can do on your own, because sometimes it can be very tricky to find a dance partner. This is like a chronic problem for me, actually, finding a dance partner. All right, yeah, Carolyn, and thank you so much for coming and always commenting. It's been so fun getting to know you through that. Ooh, Coralie says her sister called for help on her theory midterm. Yeah, so I, switching gears a little bit. Yeah, so I work as a music teacher as well, and I also was on our state's theory committee, which is the one that like makes the state theory tests. And yeah, oof, that is, that's its own thing. I actually end up, and I'm not sure how intentional all of this is, basing a lot of my magic systems like on music and music theory, just because in a way it kind of is magical. Carolyn, I teach piano mainly. That's what most of my training is in. And then also I do voice and then composition. And I've taught violin. I don't right now. I'm really out of practice on the violin. I also play harp and guitar and Celtic flute a little bit, although I don't teach those right now either because, again, really out of practice on them. And then I've also worked with choirs. So I've been kind of an accompanist and assistant choir director. So that's like my official job. But in reality right now it's about half and half. Yeah, Coralie, for the dance, I had just started, like, I found some really awesome dance classes in my area, and I was taking swing dancing, and I went to a waltz class that was super fun. And then, like, this hit, and I'm like, okay, going and holding hands with a bunch of strangers and, like, you know, being kind of close proximity and breathing on each other is a really bad idea. So I've had to quit my dance classes for now. So hopefully I can get back into dance. And in the meantime, I've just been doing, like, some exercises to try to stay in shape. Mostly a lot of yoga. My camera's down blurry, I'm not sure why. Ooh, a Bach chorale. That, I think I blinked out. Okay, am I back? Yeah, so Coralie, the music works well as a structure, and yeah, Bach chorale, oof. It's been a while, I would have to really, like, think hard. Oh yeah, and Sandra mentioned that I went to a polka class. Well, not a class, just like a dance as well. It turns out there is, like, a polka dance hall pretty close to my house. Excuse me a minute here. So yeah, I went polkaing and learned how to polka, like a Czech polka, which is different, I think, than some other kinds of polka. It was, because they also have a Czech waltz, and that was different than a Viennese waltz. That was interesting. Yeah, so Coralie, I've never done ballet or tap. I have done a little bit of contra dancing, and then I did like some Ceilidh dancing in Scotland, which I think is kind of a similar idea, like those folk dances. And yeah, it's so much fun. Just love it. So I've been trying to make it a priority to do more of that, partly just for fun and partly as like research. Because, you know, with the books I write, we end up dancing a lot. Let's see. All right. Any final questions before I go back to writing? give this just a few minutes here. Yeah, and well, trying to think if there's anything else I need to say. I think I've pretty much covered it. So I'm gonna go ahead and log off now and get back to writing. I'm actually gonna go outside because it's windy but nice right now and work on my outline for Beauty and the Beast. I dug out my outline that's like for the entire series that steps out each book, so I need to make sure I hit what I do. So yeah, Coralie, thank you so much. I hope you all have a fantastic, productive day as well. I hope you find some pleasant ways to pass the time. Always feel free to check in and say hi. As I said, I've been online way more than usual because that's about all I can do right now, and I really do love talking with you all and getting to know you better. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'm gonna go write, and I'll see you all later.